Welcome back to the Sports Desk, and you are here with Michael, Kendra, and James. And this week, we've got another very special sporting guest. And this guest for this week is a decathlete who is proudly representing RMIT at Athletics Australia national competitions, taking out the unisport component and then attempting 7 individual events the following week, finishing first in the shot put and second in the javelin, and finishing 6th overall. Our special guest is currently balancing his Masters of Data Science degree at RMIT. And although he's relatively new to athletics and decathlon, his close results have shown that he's one of the best competitors in the country. Christian Paynter, welcome to the Sports Desk today.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of close results for myself, but we'll hopefully win a few of those soon.
That's right. We're very confident that you will, Christian. Now, firstly, what inspired you to start training for decathlon, and why did you choose it so late in your development?
Well, I was playing basketball, funny enough, and then, just decided that athletics would be more of a chance to go to the Olympics one day, so rolled with that. And then won the state high jump champs, and then thought, well, if I'm winning states, maybe I should train for that. And then my coach at the time was big on multi events and just kept pushing me towards it. And I was sort of training, throwing and stuff like that. It was all kind of fun. And then eventually in January 2016, I gave in and did my first decaf. And it was just an absolute ripper experience, and thought I should keep going with it.
And I'll tell you what, Christian, for a lot of people who don't know the origins of decathlon, I've got to say, a lot of people would be convinced that it was originating in Melbourne because, of course, the shortened version of decathlon is decaf, which is a perfect coffee term for all Melburnians out there.
Yeah, pretty much.
So for those who are not aware of what the Olympic discipline for the decathlon includes, can you describe us its origins and the base washdown of the rules and what's going on with decathlon, really?
Yeah, easy. So it's 10 events across 2 days, although it's been changed to 10 events across 48 hours because in Doha, they competed overnight and finished after midnight because it was so hot during the day there. But basically you start day one with the 100 meters and then you go into long jump, shot put, high jump, 400. Come back for day 2 and you run a hurdles, do discus, pole vault, javelin, and finish off with a 1500. So it's pretty brutal to finish off both days with a 4 and a 15. It really sorts people out from just being athletes versus actual decathletes.
To take the sport back to the absolute origins, decathlon wasn't always at 10 events long. When the sport started in ancient Greece, it was created, as you mentioned, to test the all-round abilities of the athlete. Now, the competitions back then included long jump, discus, javelin, sprint, and how about this? A wrestling match. Now, this is pre-WWF style. Now, Christian, are you a little bit disappointed that they've removed the wrestling from the decathlon?
We've actually talked about that a few times. A lot of us are like, it would be all right at wrestling. I think I'd have a few people's numbers, particularly the elite guys, I'd say, who are a bit skinnier, not packing as much muscle mass. I reckon I'd definitely get them, but could be a good way to avoid some head injuries and stuff like that without wrestling, I think.
You wouldn't mind doing that? I mean, I can just imagine you saying...
it'd be a good bit of fun for sure. We actually do have a group chat where we're all named different wrestlers' names.
That's golden.
My wrestling name in the group chat is The Undertaker, so
okay, yeah.
Might have to start playing Hell's Bells every time I come in.
Discuss the mental challenge attributed to winning as opposed to just doing well. So who can make the least amount of mistakes?
Yeah, it's really tough. Like, you can come out and do your 100 and absolutely bomb out, have a terrible run, and still come back and win overall because you just put it behind yourself and have a good 9 events afterwards. So it is really, really challenging, particularly I think the 4 and 15 are big mental games because you just get lactic build up and you pretty much just have to fight through it and decide how much you want it. It is a very big mental game. You just have to remember that at each event, you're not trying to beat everybody else. You're really just trying to beat your own personal performances and then hope that, the best you can do on the day adds up to be better than what someone else can do.
So how is the decathlon different from other track and field events, Christian?
Well, to start with, the training is about 4 times as much, despite having 10 events. I think most guys can kind of get away with training 3 times a week, doing gym twice a week. We pretty much have to be out there every day. Yeah, it's just like an absolute killer. I mean, the professional 100-meter runners, 400 guys can run and absolutely tax himself, but we have to do that and then back up again the next day, or with 4 events after the 100. So really you want to finish earlier day 1 and start later on day 2 and get as much recovery as possible, because you pretty much finish most times 6-7 o'clock at night, and then you've got to try and eat a massive meal because you haven't really eaten all day, and then get a massage in, maybe try and get an ice bath, and then get 9 hours sleep if you can, if you're not too hardwired from the day. So yeah, it's a bit of a challenge.
For decathletes, they need to prepare for their sprinting, the jumping, the throwing, and the running events. All are extremely different. The real question is, how many pairs of shoes do you actually have?
A lot is the answer. I pretty much have a different pair for each event, because you can kind of get away with wearing the same pair of shoes for the 1, 4 and hurdles, but I don't know if you've ever seen me race hurdles. I destroy some of them. So I have a separate pair of shoes just for those. I've got a separate pair of spikes for the 100 because they're a bit lighter, but I can't run a bend in them. So I've got pretty much 10 pairs of shoes for the 10 events, plus like 6 pairs of runners at any one time to do, distance reps and stuff in. A pair of weightlifting shoes. it just doesn't end. A pair of Birks, because you have to have Birkenstocks in a decath.
Kendra, how does this compare to the amount of shoes that you have?
Oh, I don't know. Mine are a lot different though, so different design. So, but yeah, close.
Yeah. Not to mention, I've got about 4 or 5 pairs of basketball shoes still.
Elaborate on the competitions you have planned for 2021, and is there a burning ambition for an Olympic debut in the near future?
Yeah, so in terms of 2021, I think we're looking at doing Queensland state champs towards the end of the year. But in terms of 2021, it's sort of just getting back into the season in sort of October, November, just getting the individual events out at local shield meets and stuff. 2022 is a Commonwealth Games year, but they've also pushed back World Champs to 2022 because of COVID. So hoping the top 2 guys in Australia kind of head off to the World Champs and leave a couple of spots open for the Commonwealth Games. Even from now, starting to get the diet in place and really prep to be absolute peak for probably nationals next year, so I can try and qualify. In terms of Olympics, unfortunately not quite good enough to make Tokyo, but the next one's in Paris and will be in 2024, and I'll be 27 then, and that's kind of when you start really hitting your peak and you've had a chance to learn enough about all the events, and fingers crossed that'll be a go.
What's the hardest event for you out of the 10?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd probably have to say either the 400 or the 15. I did smash out an amazing 1500 at state champs, which kind of put me up there in terms of the 1500 meter runners, but you kind of just have to put yourself on the pain train and hold on for 3 laps. The 400, I just don't quite have the speed endurance that some of the other guys have, been a bit smaller and faster than I am. So it's something we really work hard on. Yeah, it's just hard to get through 4 events and go, all right, I'm going to bury myself here and be on the floor for the next half an hour.
I would have been very surprised if you didn't say the 400. Doing a 400, lactate city.
Yeah, it is brutal. I didn't get up for quite a while after state champs. Just there's a great photo of me lying on the floor just dead.
So the last question, I ask everyone this, okay? I feel like it's something that we do here at the sports desk, right? Let's have a dinner party. Let's invite 3 people in the whole world, athletes, celebrities. Who would it be?
I'd definitely start with the world record holder for the decath, Kevin Mayer. I just love that dude. He's just so unbelievably good. Like, his energy in a comp is just what I'd aspire to have. Like, he's so emotional after every event. If he throws a PB, he's like on the ground crying with happiness. I would definitely have to take Michael Jordan as well. I was born on the 23rd, so 23 has always been my number. And then when I started playing basketball, I found out this amazing guy. And then third one, I reckon I would have to take Buddy Franklin, back when he was a Hawks player, number 23 as well.
Okay.
I used to wear my 23 jersey down on the tennis court at home, kicking the footy back and forth, wishing I could be, as good as he was one day. So, yeah, I think it'd be really interesting to have those three guys together.
Oh, that is amazing. Christian, thank you so much for your time today joining us on the Sports Desk. We wish you all the best for your upcoming competitions in 2021 and beyond. And we hope to see you at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. Thank you so much for your time today, and appreciate you representing the mighty RMIT Redbacks as well.
Yeah, the Redbacks.
Thank you for having me. It's been awesome. And I look forward to seeing the sports radio in the future. Absolutely. Anytime. Thank you.